Hello, welcome back to Average Gamer Plays Factorio. I'm on a little journey. I'm going to go and head back to my starter base because I've left the Spidertron behind over there, so I need to go and pick him up. I've been playing for a few hours offline, and in that time I have put down a second red circuit factory to go with the second plastic factory. We might not actually need a second, well, you never know. I've not really been keeping an eye on the LTN messages, so I don't know if we're actually short of red circuits or not at the moment, but I'm going to build a second factory. Well, I've built it anyway, I just need to connect it up. I need to connect up the rails and the ins and outs. Now, the problem that I've got with connecting the rails is that the junctions that I was going to use are already being used for things on the other side. This is the stone for the productivity science, for the stone and the bricks, and then this is an entrance out to get to this mine over here. So I'm going to resort back to using these diagonal entrances that I was thinking of putting in on the octagons, that I ended up not putting in because if you put an octagon on the other side of it, it doubles up the junction. So I took those out, but I can still put them in occasionally as and when needed. Now, it took a while to get this red circuit factory built because I had to wait for them all to build all the assembly machines, and I had to wait for more beacons and more lots more blue undergrounds and things like that. So it was a lot of toing and froing in the train to get to the mall, and that train is still going. So while that is going, I'll tell you that I've also put down a few more solar panels. We now have I think we have nearly 660,000 or something, 658, something like that. So again, we were getting brownouts towards the end of the night, and you can't look at the power without clicking on a power pole, and I don't think I can do that while travelling. Can I click on a power pole? Yes, I can. Right, let's just have a little look at this. So we're using 25.5 gigawatts overnight. Let's just see what the accumulator charge goes down to, and if there's going to be any brownouts. Now the solar panels are starting to kick in again now, so I think we should be all right. We've gone to manning productivity 121. I think it was on 116, 117 last time I recorded something. Then we're going down to about 200 gigajoules. 210, and then it's going to start creeping up. Yes, okay. So we've got enough power at the moment to see us through the night. I need to get out the train, pick up Spidertron. Is there anything? I don't think there's anything else I need because I've got enough rails and signals. Plenty of everything else. Everything's built. Now I will need to put down more mines because I'm getting messages saying that there's not enough ore. But yeah, that'll be what I'm going to do is connect up this red circuit factory and then just build a few more iron and copper mines. Now over here we're going to have rails out on the right, and I'm going to take off these signals. That is about halfway because that's where that power pole is, so that will do. I'll put this one in at the top first, and then I'll do the one at the bottom, and then I'll turn all the stations on. Again, that is the middle one, so take those signals off. Octagon diagonal in on the left and line it up roughly with that power pole in the middle there. Make sure that'll do. Oh yeah, that needs to be the in as well, yeah. I was thinking that needs to sort of come out, but that just needs to connect in. To that one as well. I had loads and loads and loads of big electric poles. I must have squirreled them all away. There's some more. Oh, I need to set some more research on the queue. There we go. Right, that is all powered up as well. We just need to turn on or connect in this. Now hang on a minute. I do need to. Take off the substations, roboports, poles. But that line coming in there actually needs stacker, so let's rearrange this a little bit. Okay. Right, now we should be able to turn the stations on. Everything there is connected up. So let's see if we start getting some more red circuits being made. Or, to be more precise, let's see what a knock-on effect this has on the rest of the factory. Well, that should go yellow in a minute. There they go. Right, so this is red circuit 2, plastic 1, drop off. Now, yeah, there was an error on the blueprint here, and I don't have any red circuits on me. I need to go back to the storage to fix it. But yes, one of these lines was off track, and I did fix it on the other factory, but I didn't realise it was actually an error on the blueprint. So while waiting for that one to fill up, and then once this has started producing, I'll turn on the other half of the factory. I'm not going to overwhelm it with trains too quickly, because we've got plenty stacked up there. So while that is running and filling up with red circuits, let me go and get some red belts, and I'll fix that little bug. That should provide 64,000. That is providing 64,000. Okay, so where let's just walk down there. It's probably going to be easier because all these other trains in the way, I might not be able to get anywhere near it in the train, so I'm just going to wander down there and try and work out why that train isn't going anywhere. It's not repathing itself. It's not. I mean, this factory has produced lots and lots of. Although maybe it hasn't. Maybe that's been broken for a while. How much is on that train? 9,100. So that's interesting. Why? Why is that train broken? Got fuel in it. Got a signal. It was just that I was missing a couple of signals there. Wow. Am I missing a couple of signals on the other side as well? Has that never worked? Has that always been broken? I mean, we produced a lot of... All depends though on how much purple science I brought over from the other mega base when I dismantled it. But no, I've watched this, I've seen this produce. I do not understand that. I don't know where that got broken. I've zoomed in on this on map view and watched it producing lots and lots of purple science. Now, as these trains work their way through, we might find... Yeah, trains are starting to go to the other side now. Just having a look on the mini-map. So, trains are able to come in on this side and deliver items. So the other half of the factory will start working. I don't know how it got broken, but it's fixed now. Those are starting to work. Starting to get items out on these lines as well now. That's moving up now towards the 5,500, which it should be. So that is now short of 57,000, 58,000. Okay, so let's wander over back to here and turn these. See, there's a train already there to pick up circuits. All the labs look like they're working. Yep. So we're okay with that. Let's turn these stations on. Yeah, those belts are going in the right direction, so it's probably just that everything there is getting filled up before it has a chance to fill that one up. It's just that the other lines, maybe it's to do with how this balancer works, maybe slightly fewer belts circuits come down these belts, and therefore that one just doesn't get a chance. Because it's lined up the same way as everything else, but I mean that one's only got 50 odd in there, so we're getting slow. We're running out of power again. Okay, still need to carry on stamping down more solar panels. I'm getting better at doing this from the map view actually, so if I go into map view, I wander all the way over here and I zoom in. I do have to sort of prepare the area in advance by clearing the trees and filling in the landfill, but if I go blueprints, solar arrays, it's a case of remembering when to right click and when to left click, but if I zoom in a little bit on there and get that lined up exactly there and click, did that click? Shift. Yes, no. I'm not sure if that's working, you know. I should at least see, because all the worker robot things is turned on, so why are they not leaping into action? Solar arrays. I'm sure I've done this from map view before, because I've got it out of sync before. Ah, is it because it's not in? I don't know. Anyway, right, that is working. That one is also working. Let's just double check that all the belts are correct on this one. Okay, so that's now got 3,000, 3.5, so that's working. Right, let's... now, there was something else I noticed on one of the coal one of the coal mines over here. That line isn't moving. and I think behind these trees there is a belt that's missing. So that is on, so let's head to smelting 2. Let's go back onto map view and force a rechart. But if I had actually been able to put that blueprint down, I'm sure I would have seen the worker robots. Ah, maybe I'd already done it. Maybe that's why nothing was happening. I was putting a blueprint down on top of an area that had already been built on and I wasn't aware of it. So, blueprints, solar arrays. Let's now put it over in this area. That sounds good. And now all the worker robots leap into action. Okay. Couldn't build a solar panel array on that area because I'd already done it. So, yeah, that is almost a direct line or whatever. I'm reluctant to take out a lot of these roboports because they're still all being used. Although it depends in what direction. If I carry on just expanding it northwards, I can take out all these roboports to the south and sort of in a diagonal line along here. If I'm only going to expand it to the north, we'll see. Right, so let's have a look. Of course, I should have. Let's just put a red belt in there because a red belt is better than no belt. Yeah, look at how slow it's going now. Okay, so that's going to be the plan of action for the next few hours, is just keep putting down more solar panels. So now that that second factory is in operation, how many red circuits have we got at this first one? We've got 196,000 in there, which is nearly full, and 205,000 in there, so that's cool. So every time we need red circuits now, we shouldn't have any problem supplying them. Now I'm at my smelter. I was just fixing a problem with it because we had some coal contaminating the lines here, and that was affecting steel production. So I've cleared out the lines, and I've changed these inserters to be filtered stack inserters. So we're now just unloading, regardless of what the train comes in with, we're just unloading iron ore out of it. I do still have on the list to put in a recycling plant for coal, and I still haven't got around to doing that, so that's what caused that problem. So I need to go through and do the same thing on the other smelting arrays. So I've done it on the 4 iron and the 4 copper down here, but I need to do the same thing up here. I've not actually had a look at the arrays up here to see if they got contaminated with anything or not. They all look fine. They're brick. That's alright for stone. That's completely empty. That's producing. So yeah, we still need a lot more iron coming in, and I was thinking about mining directly onto the train now that we're getting a bit more mining productivity, so I'll investigate that. That is empty. That is not contaminated. Oh, that one is contaminated. Okay. Right, so that is smelting 3. Right, I've got plenty of stack inserters, plenty of electronic circuits to make filter inserters. Right, let's head over to smelting 3 and fix that problem. Now, while I'm travelling, I will show you the. I was looking at this. Where is it? Steel. Let's turn the train stations off. Steel. Down here, I noticed that this line sort of wasn't moving at all, and there's actually a couple of rogue rails on there. I've got no idea where they've come from. I don't know if it's actually on the blueprint or not. Let's just have a look at so that's steel 2. Let's have a look at steel 3. There's steel 3 up there. It's not an issue there. Everything there is moving. And then let's have a look at steel 1, which is, where's steel 1? It's all the way up there at the top left. That looks fine, everything is moving there. Now, I did notice while looking at this is that these machines at the end aren't actually producing anything. I think I made a mistake when designing this and trying to save some belts. I think I've merged too many lines onto one here. So although this line on the output is moving really quickly, these lines feeding into it are actually moving quite slowly, and I think the production is actually getting backed up, which means that these steel factories are not producing as much as they could, regardless of the fact that it says that there isn't enough iron ore to feed them. They're not actually. So this is why we're getting all these messages here saying there's not enough steel for the low density structures, or there's not enough steel for the chemical science. It's because the steel factories aren't producing what they should. So there's a few things to fix at the moment. So we'll do these one at a time. So what I did was, let's just put down a couple of chests. Let's pick up all, right, first things first. Let's just dump some random stuff into there. I'll have to make sure, let's just do an item erase, but I have to make sure not to do that chest because I don't want to delete everything that I was actually carrying. Right, so there's no coal left in any of those. So what we then do is pick up all the coal manually off these lines until these machines start to get some iron ore. I pick up, I can just dump back in the machines. So I'm just sort of watching over here to see when the colour of the oils change on the belt. That's when the arms start moving. Make some more stack filter inserters. I have an upgrade planner here. Change those. But then I just have to manually set the Control C, Control right click, Control left click, and then hold down S while I walk down. Now I think what I'll do copy, shift, right, save blueprint as filtered or iron inserters, and then just stick that on there for the time being. Let's get back in Spidertron so I don't get run over. 20. Make quite a lot of those. And then I think if I do a deconstruction planner for stack inserters, now that's interesting. That's got copper plate in there as well, hasn't it? So that blueprint wasn't quite right. I wonder where all this copper plate has come from. Right, let's just make a few more of those for the sake of just having some. Now then, for mining directly onto a train, let's try it with this 250 million. Where? See, for mining directly onto a train, you've got to make sure that the ore patch is kind of big enough to hold the 8 wagons. Let's have a think about that a little. No, I need some more. No, I picked up everything for the mining. Let's sort of have a think about this now. Let's just wander over here and have a think about whether we can do it on this 175 million patch here. So if we were to have a 3/8 train, see that section of the ore patch is big enough to cover those 8 wagons. And I might be able to get 2 or 3 trains next to each other if I go sideways. There's going to be that, and then it starts getting a little bit narrower. So right, let's just have a little think about how we're going to do this. Let's reroute. Let's reroute that. Now, if we put don't think I'll have enough room to sort of squeeze the trains in. If I have more than one mine along here, I'm not going to have room to squeeze it in on the output, so I'll have the trains sort of going in this direction. I might actually move that along one. And let's just put that station goes there. And the first 3 are locos, and then that's the first wagon. One, 2, 4. I'll move that across. See, these miners have a 5x5 mining area, so they're not going to overlap each other. Like that. Right, those 2 aren't on the patch, so let's move that back to the left a little bit, and let's just see if it works. Right, it's only put 3 miners on that one, but at least I'll be able to get sort of 2 more miners onto this one. So I'm only losing out on 1 miner. Or I could actually... No, those are too far apart, aren't they? One. Oh no, because that's how far... Yeah. Alright, I'll have them closer together. I can't have them as far apart as ideally they need to be for the miners. Although, hang on. No, they don't overlap with each other. I was looking too far back. I should have zoomed in a bit more. Right. That has still got 177,000, 240,000 resources under there. Now I could just move them all up a little bit. It'd be fine, certainly for to start with. Now then, that one has got 53,000. It's not an awful lot. Move that just up a tad. It's great when you've got bots, isn't it? Right, 135,000, 211,000, that's more like it. So, this is going to be... let's connect them with... some power coming in from there. That we need that set to be 16,000. Don't really need to set those because all my trains are 11 length. Now I also need, because we're not linking these to chests, what we do is we'll set a constant combinator to just output 16,000. We'll turn that off for the minute. And we'll call that one Iron Direct 1. We'll just enter that, and train limit of 1 I think on that one, because I haven't got any stackers on here. So those trains will come out and they'll either come down here, and we'll need to put another so these stations come down a little bit more than that one, so we'll have that there, that there. We need a rail. Okay, so what happens now if I turn these on? How long does it take for it to decide to send a train here? Not long. Right, here comes one. $2,000, $4,000. I don't know whether that's sort of any much slower at the moment than loading out of the chests with the inserters. And off it goes. So that's not bad. That was actually quite quick and easy to set up. What I'll have to do is sort of compare that with the speed of loading a train on. Let's go wander up to one of these other mines and just wait for a train to come in and see how they do load quicker, because I've basically got 6 stack inserters feeding the wagon. Although it feeds quicker if there's iron ore in the chest. I think if they're bringing the ore directly off the belt, there's not a lot in it, I don't think. I mean, it raced through quite quickly because yeah, I don't think there's a lot of iron ore in these chests, so it's effectively loading directly off the belt. and I don't think it's actually that much slower. Oh, did I fix that? I know I put another belt in there. Yes, I did change it to a blue one, so that one is all working as it should be. But these trains getting filled up here certainly aren't that much slower. $6.5, that's got 16,000, that should be going out. That's got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, I don't know whether it's going to start favouring this mine because it's closer, or if it's still going to use the other mines, or if it, if it's just using this one so much because we do actually need the ore. Time will tell on that one, I suppose, but this does seem to be working quite nicely. Now obviously it's not going to mine the rest of this patch, and we might get to a situation where when some of these miners on the edge start running out, this wagon at the front will only be loaded by these two, and it's going to load slower. So it's not 100% sort of long-term solution, and it's not as convenient as reliable maybe as mining onto the belts and into the chests, because obviously when you're mining into the chests it will keep filling the chests even when a train isn't there. But this is just a lot quicker and easier to actually build. And I say, if it gets to the stage where you can sort of mine, I mean that actually I think is loading quicker than it was doing straight off the belts. It will certainly load the ores at a more consistent pace. And then let's go and pick up some more belts and splitters and undergrounds, because I initially built this with sort of 6 lines going across up here, or 8 lines, and then I thought for some reason that I could save some belts. But that's a bit of a false economy, because if we have a look at if we do the mining and the max rate calculator over all of this, it says 4,060 per minute, but if we go on express transport belts per minute, it's 1.504. Now hang on a minute. I wonder if the problem is, yeah, no, because we've got the two here coming out, but they're being merged onto the same belt. So effectively we've just got this one belt coming out of this entire sort of factory. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 factories effectively, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 belts. There's the 4th one over there. So I need to effectively now I need to maybe change these splitters, because maybe the reason why I thought that these belts could be combined was that the way that these splitters work, or the way that these smelters work, is that they output everything onto the one side of the belt. No, I haven't got any splitters on me at the moment, so maybe if I need to change the balances. I'll get more belts coming out, but I need to change something on the outputs of these to maybe get the steel onto both sides of the belt, and I'm not quite sure at the moment, because they just all output. I think what we need to do is basically just have right, two, three, 6. One, two, three. I do need 6 coming off here, don't I? Right, so what I needed to do something like this. There are something like a 4 to 2. One, two, three, 4. That's basically like an 8. Yeah, that is the same as that one. Yeah, I think those are all kind of moving a little bit quicker now. That is still output full. I think once it gets it's able to sort of work its way through. So there's some gaps on this side of the belt. See, that should just be outputting 3/4 of a belt of steel plate. But that coming off there looks pretty much like a full belt to me, but I don't know if it's right. Okay, it is starting to work its way through. I think it just needed to work through the backlog. Right. Yeah. That's fine. Right, so all those are now working. And there's no output full. All those smelters are working, and I think it just took time to sort of work its way through the system, and I think this one will do the same because it just had so much output sort of built into those smelters. So let's wander over That's, yeah. Oh. Not do that. Go on, let's get the whole thing in the right place before you put it down. Done that before. Yeah, now this one I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and pick up a whole bunch of put those away. Come on. So let's have a little look. So some of these lines still only look half full. Let's just have a look and see what's happening with those. It's because I haven't tidied up this side yet. So we should now have basically 6 sort of 3/4 full lines coming off here, which means, yeah, because that's now working its way through the backlog there, look. Which means we should be getting steel produced at a quicker speed at this factory. 38, 39, 40, yeah, so we're producing steel quite quickly. Now as long as we've got enough iron ore coming in, and I just need to add more miners to cope with that, but we should have plenty of steel coming out, certainly of this one. I need to make the same change on the other 2 factories, and I can add in there's a 226 million ore patch up there. I'll probably get some, even if not direct mining, I can certainly put another mining patch up there, mining plant, and then maybe another depot up here. So now that it's outputting more steel, it is going to get hungrier for ore. So we're not going to fully fix the steel production issues until we've sorted out the ore supply issues, but we're certainly getting there. We're fixing these little glitches, you know, that when we are producing the items, you know, that's definitely more than half a belt of steel plate coming out there, steel bar. Those are still working their way through the backlog. That's starting to filter through now, look, and see how that there is starting to empty out the line. So these, so that the product's finished 10,970, and that one has finished 43,890. So it does show, or that one there, 126,823 steel, 123,000, 100,000, 111,000, 8,820 and 10,000. So these 2 machines at the end of each line had produced hardly anything. So they should now start to catch up a little bit. I've definitely planned these steel factories based on the consumption for the whole factory. You know, I've put in some extra, what have I put in since then? More plastic and more advanced circuits, but advanced circuits don't use steel, I don't think, so that's just plastic. And so I don't think the demand for steel is any higher than it was earlier, let's put it that way. Yeah, plastic, copper and green circuits. In fact, now let's have a look at the plastic now that this has been sort of up and running for a little while. See, that is full, that is full, that is full and loading onto a train. So we've certainly got no issues with, right, space science 4,400 a minute over the last hour, 3,500, fairly steady on the rest of it. So we've certainly got, and let's just have a look at plastic. So production is 63,000 a minute, consumption 64,000, 65,000. So we're definitely making enough. And then this second plastic factory, which was over there, again, that's got 220,000 in there. That's completely full. That's got 211,000. So whenever we need plastic, we've got plastic. So no complaints there. So yeah, just no station supplying iron ore. That's interesting in network 4. So we've still got even with, I need to put a radar down there, but even with that mine there, it's still saying no station supplying iron ore. It's interesting. So I'll make the same change and the same fix to the other 2 steel factories, and then we'll come back and we'll see how much of a difference that makes. I might still add in some more. Yeah, I'll add in some more iron mines. I think we definitely need something in this top left corner. 182 million, that's ripe for mining. 226, that's good for mining. And then there's we need to put more trains in this depot over here, and then it can start using those for the mines. And then this steel plant certainly shouldn't be short of ores. So yeah, we'll carry on with that next time, and I will say see you later.